What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Paul Ryan back at it again. I hope everybody's having a good night. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned into tonight's live stream. I know discussing a loss isn't always fun to hear about, definitely talk about, and also just kind of have to relive and recap via a podcast or a live stream. But again, thank you to everybody who did tune in. I'm hoping that we won't have to discuss too many more losses, but sticking with that point, I'll be honest. Um, for those who didn't tune into tonight, Mike and I were talking about the rest of season, kind of predicting how many wins we thought the team would have. And Mike was a lot more optimistic than I would, and that's not usually the case. But Mike said that he thinks the Cowboys would win 9, maybe even 10 more games. And I don't think the Cowboys will win 7. I don't know if I'm being too pessimistic. These back-to-back losses have stung pretty hard. Just the level of play by the Cowboys hasn't been a sight to see. Hasn't been easy to watch. Been pretty discouraging. And we talked a lot about tonight about scheme and talent and things like that. And Mike thinks that there's a serious talent issue on the defensive side of the ball. And when you look at the offensive line, I mean, you've got two young guys starting. You've got a declining Zach Martin, and then you've got Terrence Steele, who doesn't even look like he belongs in the league anymore. Offensive line, heading into the season after training camp and things. I can't speak for you guys, but I thought that the offensive line might be a strength of this team, and after week 1, it kind of looked that way. I'm not sure what's happening now. I don't think it's crazy because, and during training camp, Terrence Steele was having one of the better camps. Now you fast forward to today. I wonder, was that because maybe our defensive line just wasn't very good? What's also crazy is because you listen to Brian Broaddus when he was there at training camp watching the practices and everything. He said that the defense was giving the offense a hard time, that they couldn't score and that the defense was looking good and that they were causing a lot of problems for the offense. So it's just been I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, but to think about the positive reports coming out of training camp, especially from a guy like Brian Broaddus, who doesn't sugarcoat things or who doesn't try to fluff up, or I don't know if that's the right term, but he doesn't make up things to try to get the fan base to feel good about the Cowboys. He's going to be honest, and that's always one thing I appreciate about Broaddus, is that he's always honest about his assessment of the team and the situation and how guys are playing and things like that. And just to see the team performing that the way that they are, it's I don't know, it's been a stark difference from what we heard in training camp. But I know it's only week 3. Like Dak said, if you can jump off the wagon if you want to. I believe in Dak. I've always believed in Dak. I'm just not sure where we go from here. Looks like there's a big disconnect between the coaching staff and the players. And we saw CeeDee Lamb and Dak kind of have an exchange. We saw Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence have an exchange, and we talked about that on the pod tonight. That kind of when you see those things, of course it's competitive, and guys are competing and wanting to win, and when things aren't going their way or going a way that they want or need them to go, there's going to be some back and forths. Definitely not any finger pointing, but just emotions are running high, and I can understand that. But I just wonder how close this locker room, this team is to boiling over. Jesse Holley, he was comparing this locker room situation to that of the 2019 Cowboys with Jason Garrett. I don't know how many of you remember that season, but it was a bad season. We had a lot of high expectations then, and ultimately at the end of the season, Jason Garrett he left the team. aka knew he was going to get fired, but he left the team, and that was just a cancerous locker room. So he kind of thinks it's a similar situation. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see what happens. All we can do is focus on Thursday night with the New York Giants. Hopefully we can come away with a win there, but I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to beat the Giants, man. The Giants are looking like they might be getting their offense figured out. They've got a good defensive line. They've got a solid run game, and then they've got Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones are looking to have built a pretty strong connection there. So It's not going to be an easy game by any means. So we'll see what happens, especially on the road. But you know, just got to try to stay positive, and like I said, we'll see what happens. Outside of that, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope everybody had a good night. And again, thank you to everybody who tuned into the pod. I'm Paul Ryan. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.